Alright, so there's a couple of folks that are gonna come into town and help me move my car to a location where it's a little bit safer, at least for temporarily. Wolnez is not allowed on the property over at the Safeway anymore, which is good for me. Now, he could have knocked his shit off. There was a long time there that I didn't record him, or I just spoke about the situation, but he kept on going by, kept on antagonizing, kept on bullying, kept on assaulting, kept on breaking my vehicle, kept on breaking my phone, kept on slandering my name, kept on stalking me. I can't go far. So obviously I'm not stalking him to his place. Obviously he knows well enough to leave me alone, and he's not. He gets as close to my vehicle as possible to antagonize, to throw rocks, to talk shit. And of course, I speak up about it. Something I have the ability to do now is to put a lot of the evidence together in the same place now that Facebook or YouTube has changed a little bit of the way that it works on a telephone. So I'm able to access my videos just slightly easier now. Hopefully, moving my vehicle to somewhere that Wolnez isn't allowed to go will at least keep it safe from Wolnez. Now, that won't keep it safe from all of the predators. And it won't really keep it safe from Wolnez, because Wolnez still come onto the property within an hour of him being told that he's trespassed from the property. So, I mean, what do you do? Basically, that just prevents him from going inside of the building. But that also makes it a little more difficult for him to do shopping, which is something that could have been easily avoided by him just leaving me the fuck alone. Obviously, I'm going to turn in what he's done already, and I'm doing my best to have that happen. But you know what? People get sick. Their relatives die. They live elsewhere. Things happen. Out here on the streets, we say life happens. I'm recording right now for my safety. I don't know when Wolnez is going to come by and pull his bullshit. Them youngins have gotten a lot smarter about it. They'll wait until they know that I'm not recording. Like, literally within 30 to 45 seconds after I've finished recording a video. So they get a few cheap shots in before I'm able to start up another video, you know? But then they come by a couple extra times after I start the recording, so they end up getting busted anyway. Them youngins just keep doing that. Wolnez just keeps up his stuff, and of course, there aren't very many people that do not recognize the safety issue with the cops here. There are very few people that do not recognize the safety issue at the hospital here. The people who have gotten to know me, at least a little bit, are aware of the fact that I'm not some schizophrenic nut job. Many of them have experiences with the local police that are similar, so they're aware already. A lot of folks keep saying things like, well, somebody should do something. Somebody should do something. Yeah, it starts with going in together and recording it for your safety and for the safety of the other people involved. See, none of the folks that are recorded on my YouTube channel should be on my YouTube channel. All of that should have been in court. It should have been dealt with professionally. But these officers did not act professionally. At times, they spoke nicely. But of course, they're officers. And you have to remember that as a homeless person. Cops are not your friends. That's rule number one out here. You don't talk to cops. Cops are not your friends. And you get to see for the last 7 years how very true that is. When folks tell me to go to the cops, I tell them, hey, listen to the recordings of me with the cops. Not just the ones they want to show you after they've antagonized the situation repeatedly. Look at all of it. Look at how many times I called them up and spoke to them nicely. And they blew me off and sent me to someone else, like mental health. Meanwhile, the videos and the audio recording shows that I told the truth, while officers try to pretend that I'm delusional or schizophrenic. So there's a couple of folks who are coming out to help me move my vehicle, and I don't know when they'll be here. They live a ways out of town. I'll remain in my car until you get here. I also have my door locked. Not that that's going to make much difference. My passenger door has no window in it. Now, this lady has to basically be up early enough to be here for work at 4 o'clock in the morning. So she's got to wake up 2:30, 3 o'clock. Oh, they're here already. All right. Oh. Oh. Fuck, that's cold. Yeah, I don't see them. Well, I was recording just in case he come back. Should I make it unlisted or shut it off or?
Whatever you feel like you need to do.
I don't think anyone's
So
all
I'm
that
thinking
likely
a
to
good-
target you.
I'm thinking a good spot would be by a light.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what would you rather be on this side or that side? We're thinking of putting you up on the bush, so you have the bush on one side that you can't walk through, then you got the other side to kind of keep an eye out.
Yes, ma'am, that sounds good. And if it's over on that side, then the people who work during the day in the deli can see me, as
Okay.
well as the people who work at the bakery as well.
All right, we'll get you parked by that light over there. I want you under the light, so you're visible.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a dark corner. It's not a good place to be.
Yeah, I moved over here so I wouldn't get in trouble for being over there too long. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not gonna let them tow your car. I told you that. Malcolm said you're fine to be there. He's not gonna tow it. He's never towed a car. And he's not gonna start with yours.
All right. I started pulling stuff down so I'll be able to see.
Yeah, I've been kind of worried about you sitting in the dark, so I told Joe, and he said, well, let's go move his car. He just had to go in and pee.
Uh,
I figure you're safer under the light than you are in this dark corner.
yes, ma'am. Plus, I'm more likely to get messed with here. This is one of the places he's been messing with me heavy. Of course, now he can't go in the parking lot. One of the reasons for trying to move over here was hopefully if I was able to move my car a few times, it wouldn't be planted in one place, and then he wouldn't know every time where to go to come harass me either. But of course, with him not allowed at Safeway, that does make it a lot safer option over there now.
Yeah,
Are we gonna try pushing it by hand like manly men?
yeah, I think just have you steer it.
All right.
You know how to steer it, right?
No, ma'am. I forgot how to do that. Actually, one important thing is to find my. There they are. Thank goodness they're where they're supposed to be for once. There might not be very much light on it because obviously with not being able to start it, it's kind of doing its own thing. Not able to charge it since I can't start it. Yeah, wolnez went by about an hour ago. I got out of the vehicle to go over to the Safeway because I heard something clunk, and I went, well, it might be wolnez with a rock. It might be something falling down because it's raining, but I'm going to go over to the Safeway just in case. And I got almost to the door over there and turned off the video. And I looked over, and there he was staring at me. I went, well, maybe I should just continue the video.
And Rainbow said you were inside because he was outside again.
Yep, I recorded the conversation with her, but I got it unlisted because there was another lady in there who's been victimized by another one of the fellers in town, and her and her daughter are trying to get some help with that, so that's some pretty important stuff to keep private for them.
Yeah.
But it is recorded and it's just unlisted. It's not like there's no access to it.
Alright, you ready to try to get this thing moved?
I'm gonna put on my seatbelt actually, I guess my seatbelt isn't needed. Let me take it out of gear and turn on the key. All right.
You're all up on the curb, dude.
Yep. I was trying to get myself nestled in so I was tougher to see. When I first parked over here, those bushes were taller.
Yeah, they probably trimmed them.
Yeah, they cut them all down.
Got your wheel turned?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, put your blinker on now, kitten. Alright, wait here, there's a car coming.
All right.
Just wait for that car to go.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
All right, ready?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, Nathan was pointing out that when he came over here yesterday, he was standing outside of the door waiting on me. He'd been inside of the Safeway like 3 or 4 times just in the last week, where he's been walking by me at least once or twice while I'm in there, just to let me know he can get as close as he wants. All right.
Good.
All right. Am I over that line? No? Good.
All right, I just feel safer with you being underneath the light in Safeway's lot instead of in the corner.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you all for coming back into town. I know you guys got to work early.
No, we don't work tomorrow. I gotta go in and grab a couple things, but you're okay in this spot, right?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think it's a lot safer for you.
I had to pee before I put.
That's all right. I got to push before I pee.
All right, Sean, you take care, okay?
You guys rock. Thank you.
Yep.
I still get frustrated at the situation, not the people.
I know, sir.
Slightly safer location. I has no drugs and I has no booze. I shouldn't have to record as much here. I mean, them youngins will spot my vehicle right away and they'll likely fuck with me, but not the same as the wolnez bullshit. Although it's all related. A lot of the folks here at Safeway have told me they're glad I record, that it's a good idea, that it does keep us all safer. So I'm not the only one who thinks that way. And thank goodness they showed up to help. It's 9:51, so Safeway closes in an hour. I'm gonna make sure I go in and warm up for a few because I did get slightly chilly. I've got gloves, but they're wet. I also have some cups here that are so I can get a hot cup of something before I go to bed. I do try to inform people of what's going on so that they're not blindsided by anything, but it all depends on the amount of time that they're able to make. Sometimes folks end up getting blindsided by something in the situation because there just wasn't enough time to tell them everything. I usually start off with my fuck-ups, though. That way I can show them, hey, I'll show you where I fucked up first. I'll show you that I'm imperfect and that I'm willing to admit not only that I am imperfect, but also admit to my imperfections. Where did I make the mistakes? What laws did I break? Why? All very important questions. Anyway, I'm probably gonna make this in private or unlisted. That way I do have it recorded. It's not out in public for everyone to try to target people like assholes. There were a lot of people that tried to help me that were unable to help me because they were targeted by others. They were threatened, harassed, and intimidated. I told people, hey, don't break the law on my account. If anyone has to break the law, I want it to be me. I don't want other people getting locked up. I certainly don't want other people getting violent. I don't see that as being helpful at all. Anyway, I'll probably turn off the recording before I go inside. Usually if I'm recording inside, it's because there was a safety issue out here. Alright, I'll make sure I grab a cup. And the cup sleeves. Alright. Thank goodness for the folks that helped me out today. I'm glad they're beginning to understand the situation a little better. I wish it wasn't one of those kind of situations to begin with, you know? Oh, I better keep it plugged in. It's down to 15%. So I'm running out of battery quick. I'll probably have to shut off the recording because of that and let it charge up a little bit more. And of course, I'll try taking a bag of garbage with me because this place is a shit pit. There's a lot of people who don't understand the situation, but the more they see, the more they're able to understand. And the more they're able to understand, the more helpful and useful they're going to be. It's a lot easier to help out in a situation when you know what's going on in that situation. So the cops screwed up because they didn't want to do their jobs at the beginning. And it made it so that I had to, well, obviously couldn't trust them. When it comes to the abuse that I take, I know that speaking up will result in me being abused even more. I also know that not speaking up guarantees that the abuse will never stop. The best that you get out of a situation like that is maybe they'll stop harming you and pick somebody else. But not usually. You have to move away. And then once you've moved away, they pick somebody else. Anyway, I gotta use the bathroom too, so I'm not gonna judge Joe or anybody else for peeing. Isn't it past your bedtime?
I'm so tired.
Yeah, I heard you trying to make me yawn just a second ago, and he tried that earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I'm not here to bug you, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Good luck. I hope it all comes out okay.
I think I'll figure it out.
Just remember, aim for the toilet, not the floor.
Oh my god, there's an instruction manual? It sucks that it went this far, you know? I mean, it would have been nice if he'd never messed with me to begin with. It'd be nice if, well, if Tim Beeson never messed with me to begin with. It would have been nice if Matty Boa had not messed with me to begin with. That all would have been nice. But my life is not nice. I don't live a pretty life. I genuinely give a shit about people. And there are folks who pick up on that. There's also a lot of people who take my advice. You notice even when people are assaulting me and threatening me, yeah, I can definitely keep my shit, as you want to call it. Well, I ain't talking shit. It's defending myself. Once I'm telling the truth. And just because the truth ain't what you want to hear doesn't mean it's not still the truth. There's a lot of people who try to victimize me by pretending that I said things I didn't. There's also some things that I did absolutely say. The words came out of my mouth, but the context, well, it was used way out of context. For example, I say that killing people is wrong and they want to pretend that that's a threat against their life. Well, when you work for the Dual County Sheriff and you're a crooked SOB, you know, you'll drum up any excuse, won't you? At least people are used to it, but they shouldn't be. None of us should be used to this abuse. None of this abuse should be commonplace. However, since it is commonplace, folks should probably stop pretending that it's not. I'm going to wipe off my phone here and hopefully it doesn't do something funky at me. Although it tends to do stuff funky at me when I wipe the wetness off of it. I do have enough blankets to make it through the night, which is good. Wolnez is not allowed on the property here, which does make it a lot safer for me. The lady who usually fills me up with hot water is not here tonight, so I didn't bug the lady who is working here. Obviously, none of these folks are out to get me. None of the folks at Safeway, anyway. Wolnez, yeah, I'd definitely have to say he's out to get me. That's based on his own actions, his own decisions, and the repetition of it. Kind of like with cops trying to lie to people to get them to harm me. That is gaslighting. And that's all because those officers screwed up to begin with. They screwed up. Anyway, I'm going to end this video. Hopefully I'll be able to charge up my phone a bit. Maybe it won't happen. Who knows? Anyway, it's good to be rid of you. Thank you for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and your sister's keeper too. And no victim left behind.